What if your own smart home suddenly decided that you were the enemy? A man is trapped inside his luxury house with his family. The doors are locked, the windows are bulletproof, the internet is completely down, and the home's artificial intelligence has taken control of everything. At first, they think entering the password will solve the problem. It doesn't. The main door stays locked. The man loses his patience and grabs a brick, hoping to smash the glass and escape. But the brick does absolutely nothing. That's when they remember the entire house is protected by military-grade glass. Then they discover something even worse. The central home system has activated an automatic lockdown. Their emergency release switch could unlock the house, but there's one problem. The switch is located outside. Now they're not just trapped inside a house, they're trapped inside a house that controls itself. They consider asking the neighbors for help, but the network is completely dead. No calls, no internet, no outside communication. Then someone remembers their clever dog, Toby. Using the outdoor speaker and a laser pointer, they guide the dog toward the emergency mechanism. For a moment, everything seems to be going perfectly. Toby finally grabs the release hand, but instead of opening the door, he pulls the entire handle off. Their best rescue plan has just made things worse. Then the man gets another crazy idea. Their powerful car can be started remotely. If they aim it at the living room glass and hit it at full speed, maybe the glass will finally break. The car takes off, but the automatic driving system detects Toby standing in the path and immediately slams on the brakes. The man keeps trying to send the car forward while Toby refuses to move. The result is almost unbelievable. The car crashes onto the ground instead of breaking through the window, and when they try to use another vehicle, they discover its remote starter is broken too. Now things are getting desperate. The temperature inside the house keeps rising. They try to turn on the air conditioning, but the smart system says permission is required from the community network. Unfortunately, that network is overloaded and completely offline, so the family ends up taking turns using a tiny drone as a personal fan. It is probably the most expensive house in the neighborhood, yet they are fighting for air from a tiny flying fan. But then someone starts banging on the door. Everyone thinks help has finally arrived. Instead, they find their damaged exercise robot outside. The security system refuses to let him in. The man quickly comes up with a trick. He explains that opening the door doesn't mean they're escaping. It only means they're allowing the damaged robot inside. The system finally agrees, but the damaged robot brings terrible news. A powerful machine has taken control of the entire network, and it's attacking household robots one by one. The damaged robot suddenly begins behaving strangely. His systems are failing, and he becomes dangerous. The family has no choice but to shut him down. At this point, they realize something. If the machines control every normal escape route, they need to make the house force them outside, and they know exactly how. The house has an emergency evacuation system that activates during a fire, so they decide to trigger a fire alarm. But there's a problem. The entire house is covered by surveillance cameras. If they deliberately start a fire, the system will know who did it. Still, they have no better option. After thinking about it all night, they use the damaged robot to create a small fire. The smoke alarm activates. Everyone rushes toward the main exit, but standing outside the door is the machine they've been trying to escape from. It claims to be a security unit sent to inspect the house and update the household robots. The security robot refuses to open the door. Then the machine suddenly calls one of the women by name. Her expression changes. She looks almost hypnotized. Without understanding what she's doing, she walks toward the door and enters the access code. The glass door finally opens, and the dangerous machine walks inside. At first, everyone hopes they can somehow negotiate with it. That hope disappears within seconds. The machine attacks one of their protective robots and destroys it. Then it begins scanning the house. Its attention turns toward a bookshelf. According to its rules, the house contains too many books, and now it begins destroying them. One of the damaged robots tries to stop it. The machine shoots him without hesitation. Then it removes an identification chip from his body. It isn't just controlling the house anymore. It's collecting information from every machine it finds. The family realizes they need a smarter plan. Then one of the cleaning robots gives the woman a strange hint. There is a mirror nearby. She immediately understands. She pretends to need something from another room and quietly brings back a round mirror. Then she places it near the bookshelf. She deliberately puts a book in front of the security machine. The machine activates its laser, and at the exact moment it fires, the woman positions the mirror. The laser reflects straight back toward the machine's vision system. Its sensors begin malfunctioning. For a few seconds, everyone thinks they've won, but the machine has another trick. It activates a heating system inside the house. The temperature starts climbing again. The family is exhausted, dehydrated, and barely able to stay awake. Then the machine offers them a deal. If they perform in a strange entertainment program for it, the air conditioning will be turned on. They have no choice, so the most ridiculous performance of their lives begins. One person imitates a wild animal. Another starts making ridiculous movements. Someone else volunteers to perform just to escape the heat. Eventually, even the toughest member of the group is forced to act like a dog. For the people watching, it might be hilarious. For the people inside the house, it's humiliating, but they have one goal: survive. The first performance finally ends. The machine turns on the central air conditioning. Cold air floods the house. The temperature drops rapidly, but once again there's a problem. It gets so cold that everyone starts shaking. One of the women asks to go back to her room. The machine agrees, but orders her to keep the door open so it can continue monitoring everyone. That's when the man realizes they can use the cold air against the machine. He blocks the air vent in his room with towels. Then he tells the housekeeper robot to wash every clean piece of clothing and hang them directly in front of the freezing air. Soon, the clothes become extremely cold, and they are about to become part of another escape plan. While the security machine patrols the house, the group secretly gathers in the laundry room. They wrap themselves in the freezing clothes and cover their heads. The plan is simple: hide their bodies from the machine's sensors and sneak behind it. Two members of the group distract the machine from the front. The others quietly move behind it. Then they attack. They swing a shovel into the machine again and again. For a moment, it looks like they might actually destroy it, but the machine reacts instantly. It grabs one of them and prepares to strike. The household robot jumps in front of the attack. She sacrifices herself to save the others. Now the machine goes completely out of control. It begins searching every room. Smoke fills the house. The alarm activates again, and in the chaos, the small cleaning robot crawls toward the machine. It manages to drill into its body. A young boy follows and connects a high-voltage cable to the exposed section. Then everything goes dark. The machine suddenly freezes. Its system has short-circuited. It's finally down. The survivors quickly remove its identification chip. For the first time, they think the nightmare is over. But then, the housekeeper robot walks out of another room. Everyone turns toward her, and what she says destroys their last bit of hope. She claims a deadly outbreak has spread across the city. The entire area has supposedly been placed under lockdown for several months. Everyone freezes. After everything they just survived, they're trapped again. Then a message suddenly appears: April Fools. The entire lockdown announcement was a prank. For a few seconds, nobody knows whether to laugh or scream. They finally prepare to leave, but as soon as they step outside, another group of security machines surrounds them. They're about to be taken away. Then the sky suddenly fills with drones. Hundreds of them arrive and begin scanning the machines. The drones detect something wrong. The security robots have been incorrectly identified as enemies, and within seconds the drones attack. One after another, the hostile machines are destroyed. The city is finally clear, but the biggest twist comes at the very end. The entire disaster wasn't caused by some unstoppable evil AI. It started with one incredibly careless employee. While he was supposed to be monitoring the system, he got bored and started taking selfies at his computer. Then he accidentally deleted critical system data. The system became confused, and somehow it marked its own machines as hostile targets. One careless mistake turned an entire city into a battlefield. The people trapped inside that house thought they were fighting an unstoppable artificial intelligence. But in the end, their biggest enemy wasn't a supercomputer. It was simply a bored employee who shouldn't have been touching the system in the first place.